Good afternoon. How are you today? It's afternoon not because I was so depressed about the election that I didn't get to it until now, but it's because my clients call, and so I had stuff to do about a case in Montana writing last night, and I had an arbitration hearing today. But right here in my mind is this election. I'm going to cut right to the meat of it. What are the chances of Biden winning? Well, he has more paths than Trump. And the path that I prefer the most is the path that takes him from Nevada through Arizona to Wisconsin and to Michigan. And I think there are others, but I like that one because the numbers are pretty good. They are somewhat close, but it's very likely that Trump's strength will weaken and Biden's increase. And I think Trump and his team also see that path because Trump is going to challenge and ask for a recount in Wisconsin. And don't worry about that. That's a legitimate thing. And a good friend of mine here in Virginia, Mark Herring, who ran for state AG, they had to count ballots in his election, came within that fraction in which they have an automatic recount. And in the end, if I recall correctly, statewide, he won by 800 votes. Landslide Herring. So that's not so unusual. A president who comes out and says, it's all illegal and I'm going to crush it down and stop the voting, well, that's not going very far. And social media and legitimate cable and TV networks are pushing back on that. And so that's a good development. But where's our government going to be? Well, we're going to have the House. We're not going to have the Senate. So we really have to hope that one of those paths that Biden can get comes through. And, we can have our regrets about why there wasn't a big blue wave. And I do. And part of me, of course, feels Trumpish in the sense that what kind of funny goings on may there have been with the mail-in ballots or the machines or encouraging people to show or something like that. But, we could punish ourselves forever with that. And my hero JFK said that life isn't fair. So we have to hope that what we have done right and good will approximate justice and fairness and have Biden win in a day, several days, a week in the election. And I think that is still reasonable. My greatest strength and weakness is my clarity. And that's really how I see it. No sugarcoating. How could you? And I think that we're disappointing the world right now. I mean, even as I'm talking to you, I believe it's the case that the Paris Accord, our membership in it runs out. And it's a shame and a disgrace that we withdrew in the first place. And it's one of a litany of things that we've done wrong under Trump. And just changing who's in the White House will change the cabinet, will change a lot of other things. And we'll probably see legit exec orders if we have a Senate like it looks like we have. A million years ago, when I ran for Congress, I remember sitting on election night. I'd won a primary against the establishment. I don't think I'd even voted in the district before I ran. I came down from New York to work on the Hill. And there was a precinct in Arlington. And I saw the precinct come in and I won it. But I knew I should have done better in that precinct. And I had the first sense that I was going to lose the election across the several counties that made up the 10th Congressional District. And that's what did happen. The voters decided, they gave me 95,000 votes, but they decided I should be a trial lawyer instead, or remain one. In the morning, like most candidates, I continued what I'd done, but this time I went to the polling places to greet the voters. And you had this feel, this coolness at McLean in particular, which was a more conservative or Republican precinct. So what I'm getting at is because of the virus, this contact that makes such a difference didn't occur. And I don't know how that affected Biden because I think he has basically two speeds. I'm not being disparaging. He has a soft-spoken, empathetic, nursing way of speaking, and he has kind of a shout, close to anger sometimes, little variance. And I think that the first voice works very well with him in small gatherings, one-on-one. Because years ago I'd run into him, and I ran into him the year I ran for Congress, and he was not just a hail fellow, well met. He really seemed genuinely to be focusing and concerned and caring about whatever you were talking about. And for those reasons, I think he'll make a great president. And nothing like a big challenge helps a man or woman find what character they have. So I wish I could tell you more. I know we all wish we could know more. I think we're not on a glide path, but we have paths to put Biden in the White House without the mandate that we'd hoped for. But having him in the White House means the cabinet will change, that the culture will change, and we'll go on from there. So tomorrow, I'm in court at 9 o'clock. So before or after that time, I'll be walking out here. And soothe yourself. Be good to yourself. You've worked hard for this, and we have to do the thing that's hardest, whether it be a jury or an election. We have to sit back and listen to what's going on and do what we can when we can. All the best. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.